A few days ago, a false anti-Semitic attack upon the Orthodox Jews of Lakewood went viral. The attack claimed that there are people who own homes worth $1 million up to $1.3 million in Lakewood, Orthodox Jews who are receiving Section 8 payments from the government. Now, this is absolutely false because of the facts that were omitted. Now, let me ask you, do you know how Section 8 works? I didn't know. Really, I had no idea. So I looked it up. Section 8 is a government program to supplement the rents of people who are low-income individuals, and there are criteria for who qualifies for it. What's interesting is, in the Section 8 regulations, the government decides what the average rent is for that area, given this size of an apartment, and how much the rent should be. And then the government will supplement money to pay for the rent. But the government does not want to give the money directly to the renter. The government wants to give the money to the landlord, the person who owns the building or the house the low-income family is renting, because the government is concerned that the renters might take the money and use it for some purpose other than rent. So the assistance from the government, Section 8, the payments to help the low-income people who are renting, goes to the owner of the apartment. That could be a $20 million apartment building with many apartments in it. The checks to supplement the paying of rent from the renters goes directly to the owner of the building, and it has to be applied to the rent of the low-income family or person that's renting that apartment. So what's going on in Lakewood, New Jersey? Well, in Lakewood, New Jersey, it is legal to have the basement of your house as a rental apartment. Now, is this unique to Lakewood? Across the United States, approximately 30% of townships allow people with homes to rent out an apartment for profit. What happens in Lakewood is there are families who will buy $1 million home. They'll get a large mortgage on it, so they have to pay their monthly mortgage payments to the bank, and they will rent out the basement to people who need to rent an apartment. And in some cases, those people are getting Section 8 help from the government because the people renting the apartment are low-income individuals. And when the government helps out those individuals, the government sends the check for the rent to the owner of the house. So when these anti-Semites say, oh, there are Orthodox Jews in Lakewood who own $1 million home, a $1.3 million home, and they're getting Section 8 payments from the government. Well, that's how it works. The government sends the money to the owner of the apartment, not to the people renting, not to the low-income people who are renting. The government sends the money to the owner of the apartment. So for these anti-Semites to go around saying, oh, these people have $1 million home and they're getting Section 8 payments, there's nothing abnormal. This is how it works. And these videos have gone viral. Now, it seems to me that the people making this video are both ignorant, because upon looking into this, I found out very quickly what the answer is. And they're also vehemently bigoted, racist. They're anti-Semitic. They're just trying to smear upon the Orthodox Jews of Lakewood, New Jersey. It becomes exhausting to try to play whack-a-mole with all excuses that anti-Semites come up with to try to smear our community. The fact is, in the Lakewood community, and by the way, there's 135,000 Orthodox Jews here. It's a big community. We're not one monolithic group. There are people at all different various stages or levels of religiousness and personal preferences. So you're going to find a wide variety of people here. But for the most part, you will find in Lakewood, New Jersey, every single family has a father and a mother who are married in the family. You don't have any out-of-wedlock pregnancies. There's very little drugs. You'll find almost no cursing, almost no crime. And that's just a fact. That's just a fact of life. And it is probably a statement about the miserable lives of those people who keep trying to cast aspersions onto our community, that they themselves are miserable and they just for some reason, feel like they need to project that misery onto others. I hope this video was helpful, and thank you very much. Please share it.